Hey, everybody. We all want to speak during public comment? You don't have to, but just.
pledge allegiance to the flag. So if you don't mind standing for the pledge. All right. All right, we're gonna say this together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Let's go to our prayer, if you don't mind standing up a little bit longer. And, you know, God has been so good to us. He's been so good to us. He's doing so many things for us here in Randall. He's already started with the streets. We've got our building coming up, but we'll talk about that. But let's go God in prayer. God, thank you for another day. Lord God, we just love you. We come to you in the most humblest manner we know how. Lord God, we thank you for the air we breathe, Lord God. We thank you for the houses that we stay in, Lord God. Lord God, we just thank you for the town that we live in, Lord God. Lord God, we ask you to bless every person here today, Lord God. We ask you to bless the whole town. We ask you to bless this whole nation. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Okay, let's have the roll call. Give clerk.
Mayor Forte.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Robin Connor. Here. Commissioner Doug Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Ron Walls.
Here.
Commissioner Ed Loeffler. Present. Commissioner Schmidt.
Okay, and everybody had a chance to see the agenda. So we need to do an adoption of the agenda.
I want to make a motion to update the agenda.
Second.
Okay, got a motion, got a second. All in favor?
Well, we got to say the
Oh, so on, you turn to page 13,
Oh, you had a problem with one? Oh, yes. Okay, I'm sorry.
so it's with our rules of procedure. So we put a little verbiage on page 13,
Okay.
where anytime there's requests from us to do any research, evaluations, or studies, any additional analysis will be getting the board approval.
She said episode 13.
a new business item, number 15 should be, number 15 you would add to the agenda.
Yes.
That's a new business item.
I think
You don't have to go over it.
So this is not necessarily a discussion, this is just Commissioner.
Just to add.
Add an item 15 to the agenda prior to the town manager.
Say it again, that was 13, page 13.
Rule 30.
Okay, and your proposal was,
Just to add it to the business.
okay.
So it would be new item number 15 on the agenda.
Okay. Yeah, so anybody want to make a motion to add that?
I make such a motion.
Okay. All right, all in favor? Okay, we have no opposers, so we don't need to do that. We're gonna add a number, item 15. Call it over Rule 30, I guess, whatever we want to call it, but that's what we'll do under the new business. Okay, so, all right, let's move forward. We're gonna go to agenda item number 5, years of service recognition. We have two of our Randall's finest employees. One of the finest. I'm not gonna say that better than everybody, everybody else, but They've done a number of years of service, and we want to honor them for their service.
Mr. Mayor, real quick, before we move on to that, I just want to make sure the motion was to amend and adopt the amended agenda, right? With this, because I don't think we had a motion to adopt the agenda as amended, so.
Gotcha.
Okay, can we make a
I'll make a motion
motion
to
to
adopt the
adopt the
agenda.
agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, okay, all in favor? All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Would you like the sheets over here?
Yeah, I got it right here. So, you want to take it away?
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's so great to see everybody. Tonight is one of my favorite things, other than I think canine swearings. I think this is my favorite thing, where we get to recognize some of our outstanding town employees for their years of service. And let me just say, we have two big ones here. Tonight, we have a 10-year employee and also a 25-year employee. And I will say 25 is such a big number that they didn't have enough pins that said 25, so you get 2 10s and a pop. So we will go ahead and start with the one and only Miss Pam Moore. Pam, you want to come on up here? I know you love being recognized. So Pam, we are proud to celebrate and recognize Ms. Pam Moore for 10 years of dedicated service. Pam serves as the front office for police, as planning, as zoning, as HR director, anything else? Pam does it all. And over the past decade, your professionalism, your organization, and commitment have been essential to the success of not only staff and our team, but to the town as a whole. Your positive attitude and willingness to support others have made a lasting impact. And I will say, Pam always gives a very warm welcome to residents, despite always being very cold in her office. So tonight, we would like to thank you for your hard work, your contributions, reliability that you bring to your role each day. And we are very grateful for everything that you do. Congratulations on 10 years. Next up, we have our Assistant Chief, Mr. Holland. Come up here, sir. 25 years. So tonight, we are also honored to recognize our Assistant Chief, Mr. Brian Holland, for 25 years of service as a police officer in the town of Randolph. I mean, that's crazy. It is. For over a quarter of a century, Assistant Chief Holland has demonstrated, Jimmy wrote these, I will say, has demonstrated courage, integrity, and unwavering commitment to protecting our community and its citizens. He has served with professionalism, passion, and honor, making a lasting difference in countless lives. And I've also seen that AC has worked in an office where chunks of concrete were literally falling into his office from the old building. So you talk about commitment, that's dedication right there. And his years of service stand as an inspiring example of commitment. Congratulations on your 25 years of service, AC. We wish you continued success and remind you that the best years are still ahead.
I would like to add that we also have employees that ain't been alive for 25 years.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was nice.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys, awesome. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your service. You know, that's really honorable just to have someone to dedicate that much time of their life for the betterment of this community. So we really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Comments? We have comments. Item number 6, comments from our attendees. Let's start off with, and I have it right here in my hand. Let's start off with Mr. Mark Williams. Well, when you come up, go ahead, even though you put it on the sheet, go ahead and state your name and your address.
My name is Mark Williams. I live 2433 Lewiston Drive. I have 2 points I wanted to discuss. The first one, more so just me being a bit of a nosy neighbor.
And just to also say, Mark, you do have 3 minutes, so go ahead.
Okay. The first one, 236 Sherry Lane. I saw the enforcement sign was gone. I was just curious if there had been any resolution there. Didn't know you were that property.
Charlie,
If you'd like me to answer, we have a brand new code enforcement officer, Mr. Lingerfeld, who's sitting right here, who's going to give us an update towards the end of the meeting. If you got to run and can't stay till the end, I can always send you an email with an update.
That'd be perfect. The second thing, I would like to recommend that the town explore the possibility of having Ramlow's zoning districts and overlay maps forwarded into the Gaston County GIS system. Currently, there are several municipalities around us, including Dallas, Kings Mountain, Lowell, Stanley, and others, that are available on that tool, but not Ramlow. So I'm respectfully requesting that the town staff and the commissioners contact Gaston County to determine the process, feasibility, or cost of adding Ramlow's zonings and overlays onto that tool. This would give several benefits and help improve transparency with the public, so they can access zoning info for residents, property owners, developers, prospective businesses. It also allows citizens to easily access and identify zonings without having to reach out to staff or the board, which should hopefully reduce staff time spent on routine zoning requests and questions. And it could also help support economic development efforts. Could give potential investors and businesses easier access to land use info and current zoning. So an example would be if a Charlotte coffee shop decided that, hey, I like what's going on in Ramlow. Is there any, where are the commercial spaces available there? Or is there a vacant residential lot beside commercial space that I can maybe rezone? They could look on there quickly, see it, say, oh, hey, there is available space where we could potentially put a building there or open a coffee shop or whatever it may be. So it could help develop businesses. So thank you for your time and considering the requests.
that very first one, you said sign was removed, what sign was that?
It was the 2636 Sherry Lane.
Yeah,
I live around the corner. I just haven't seen the ordinance enforcement sign that used to be up. So that's why I was curious if there had been some sort of resolution there.
Okay.
Any questions about the GIS or anything?
no, that's a good observation. We need that, especially since we're looking at bringing more business to this area. So,
Great, thank you guys.
all right, we have, is that? Sobey, okay. Yes. Sobey, when you come up, just state your full name and your address.
My name is Abdul Malik, call me Sam, I'm here. Live in 2327 Sunset Drive. I'm new to this area as well. Just a couple of months ago. The only concern I have concern about the neighbor yard. We have neighbor yard is 2321 Sunset, right? Is unmanaged yard, especially the side and the front. And when I discussed with them last week, they say this is something of wildlife, and they have approval from the city. But actually, when I discussed, I spoke to Mr. David last week as well. This week, Monday, I discussed with him, and he said we should not have any kind of approval like that because the side yard looks like unmanaged at all. We have very tall weed. When I discussed with them, they said no, this is not a weed. It's something with special place, and they have everything dry, even water for the special plants they have, just for special birds. I didn't see any birds there for a week now. So I don't know if they have, if any neighbor can have kind of approval to do something like that and impacting the whole neighborhood. And also this is not about the appearance of the yard, but also about the risk on the kids, because I have kids as well, so I am worried about snakes, about anything, because it looks very, very bad. Because my English is not so good, so I just put all the kids here, and also I have a picture just to show what's going on with it. So This is what they have. There's a side yard to me. This one. And this looks from far. This is the front. We put a sign to say this white, white. I don't know. This is another side. There's a second side. The neighbor.
Okay.
That neighbor. So I don't know what I should do because and I live in Watsu since I used to travel 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I never had any issue like that before. So I don't know what is the law saying.
Yeah.
Or not. How can I proceed? Because it really looks very bad.
Yeah, I mean, let's have you call back to, the town manager, Charlie Henson. We'll be glad to discuss some things. Have you actually talked to that person?
Sorry?
Have you actually talked to that person? I mean, she's actually here.
Oh, yeah. I had discussed with her last week, yeah.
Yeah.
Monday. So I'm asking because she told me she has approval, so I'm talking about what approval and if it's really something special or just all the pictures, all the details.
Yeah.
And just, yeah. Okay. You can,
Yes, actually, I'm pretty aware of it. So let's have you call back, with you and we'll move from there. And then if we need to have a board meeting or something, but first of all, we need to have him, call back to the town manager, maybe set up some kind of meeting, with him, possibly the homeowner.
And we have a new code enforcement officer working now, so that really will work in that office and then back through us to that function.
Who's our new code enforcement?
Mr. Lingenfeld, he's right there in the blue shirt.
Yeah, I met him last
He's gonna
week,
speak
right?
tonight, too.
Yeah, last week.
We can talk a little bit towards the end.
All right, we have Mr. Melvin Dent. Can you go ahead and state your full name and address?
Melvin Dent, I'm 800 Johnson Drive. That's right on our head, west side of Mountain View community. And my concern is well, we are requesting speed bump. You go from Jocelyn, and look at Jocelyn Everest, it goes all the way down to Jocelyn and Randall. And it just opened up a new area back there, back in Randall. So we noticed an increase of traffic when that area opened up. And so with that, increase of speeding coming through. In the last 3 months, we had 2 incidents when 2 kids almost got hit in the last 3 months. And within the last 2 weeks, we got a motorcycle just speeding up and down the street there. You know, so me and my neighbor here, the last 2 days after Blazing Sun, we went and got some signatures. I think the total was 72 homes on that stretch. And we got a total of about 46 signatures that would also request that get some speed bumps for the sake of
Did you submit those? Did you submit those signatures? Did you submit the signatures?
Yes, we have it, yeah.
Okay.
That's it for me.
All right. We'll definitely look into it. You're looking, and you're really looking for, the, speed bumps and more monitoring of that road. Just slow the traffic, just slow those speeders down. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and instruct the town manager to do the public works director.
To do what?
I'd like to go ahead and instruct the town manager to give the public works director the authority to go out and measure and get quotes on what the speed limits and go ahead and do it.
We got a motion to do that. That's the motion. Now we got a second.
I second.
All in favor? Yeah. All right.
Are we voting just for them to go and view?
To get the quotes and go ahead and go and get them.
I think we ought to have the quote to come back to the board before we just to get a quote and vote to do it. I mean, I would like to see something else. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Well, these quotes will come back and we'll go through it.
So we're changing that. Mr. Tosco, how do we, do
So
that?
I'll redact my motion and represent it as have the public worker go out, get the direct locations it needs to be at, and get the quotes, put it in, bring it back to the board, and we'll move forward with that.
And then we could even put together a little slide that shows where the proposed location is gonna be. That's kind of how we've done it in the past, is we'll talk to the community, but it sounds like that step is already taken care of, so that's wonderful. And we can put a proposal together with the cost, location, working with the community, put it in front of the board, and then the board will decide.
and I think it was great for you to get the petition, the signatures. I think that's the way to do it.
That's definitely the first step.
Okay, so you made the proposal that he's gonna go out and he's going to,
Get the precise
survey,
location,
yeah,
get the call.
and then get the cost, and then, bring it back to the board. All right, so that's the,
Can we
that's
also
the
maybe
motion.
talk to chief about having maybe a police officer just monitor that area as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We definitely do
We
that.
have speed limit signs on that road, and the quote for speed limit signs on the road.
You said it is or it's not?
There isn't, there is when you enter the rear of the newer community, there's one, so, you know, it kind of, it's like, okay, that's probably the speed limit for the whole community, but actually on that street, absolutely not, there's no speed limit signs.
Yeah, there might be something we need to look over as well.
Can we set the speed limit 20-mile-an-hour speed?
I think it's 15.
Is it 15?
Well, 15, and there's some behind the scenes conversations we've been having, trying to get the answer to that too, because I think at Sapphire, right where the new homes are, it's 25, and I think on the backside, it's also 25, but then once you get in the neighborhood, there's smaller signs that say 15.
15, yeah. But they're two different
And I
communities.
can't remember if that's, and I can remember if the homeowners association put up the 15s, that would have been before I was here anyway, or if that,
I think they did put up all the signs when they first built the development.
yeah.
But now that we're town streets now.
So I think the motion was to instruct staff to evaluate and research all this and bring it back to the board.
So
Do we have a
make
second?
Yep.
Okay, second by Commissioner Laws. Okay, all in favor? Okay. All right, no opposed. All right, very good. And, we don't need a vote on going out, having police, monitor it. All right, so let's move on. I think that's the last person we had, on the comments. So, adoption of June 11, 2026 regular meeting minutes of the board. I read that earlier. We don't have any issues. You said, well, did you have one issue?
Not this is for the, previous meetings, correct?
Right.
Not much of a dog.
Okay. All right, all in favor? All right, no opposers. Let's go on to the, rollback jack discussion. So, I know we've already discussed this before, but, we're going to, give Reverend Dennis an opportunity to come up and, present this, rollback jack one more time.
Thank you all. You like our sign?
Oh,
I think it doesn't fall. Good evening. Thank you all so much for this opportunity again to come before this committee. The proposal that we're trying to put before this body has grown. It really started with just needing some help getting our church patched and renovated. But our idea for how we're going to do it has become something pretty important. We did a bunch of research. Has already grown to a patent application now for what we call an IoT puck, which is, IoT is the Internet of Things. And so
The research revealed that there are over 17 cities in the United States that are already using this kind of technology, the kind of technology that measures important aspects, important things that help keep a city compliant. The two things that we're concerned about, that our IoT Hub is most concerned about, of course, is the movement and the placement of the trash bins because of ADA, potential ADA violations. My research did not reveal that the town of Ranlow I couldn't find any evidence the town of Ranlow has ever been in trouble with the ADA. We don't have any kind of historical ADA violations or anything like that. But in my research, what I learned was that anything that blocks a sidewalk for a period of time, for a specific period of time, can potentially become an Americans with Disabilities violation. Also, and I've witnessed this myself, but my wife, my 88-year-old dad who lives with us, is one of the key reasons why we think it's a good idea. We witnessed that on days, and we just all saw it on July 4th weekend when trash cans go out early because people don't recognize or pay attention to the fact that it's going to be a day late. The trash people picking up the trash cans, and so they still roll them all out. And so you have trash cans that sit out a whole day early. And then every time the trash truck is finished putting the trash cans back, an empty trash can, if it's a windy day, has the potential, and we've seen it, blow over into the street. We saw it one time, just once, blow over into the street in front of a car that was coming. Those are the kinds of things that made us come up with, we think, a good idea, Rollback Jack, which would be, if there was a service that went before the trash truck and helped move the trash cans out, we think the citizens would be blessed by that. If that same service then also, we call it curb to house. If that same service would go behind the trash truck and push the trash cans back, then there would be, within the hour, there would not be any trash cans left in the city because our service would mimic the city service. I've put out a memo, some information that explains, for the most part, how we would begin our service, how it would roll out, how it would play out. There's 6 weeks, a month and a half of us learning, our team learning the city of Ranlow's trash habits. We gotta know how they're doing it, when they do it, what time the trash trucks take off, what time it's over, how long it takes for them to do it, where we can and cannot go, which houses will and will not allow us to touch the trash cans. There's a bunch of stuff that we need to know, but we can't know it unless we have enough time to study it and learn it, because we want to be really good at what we do. What started out is we just would like some help, and we were trying to look for a way to raise some funds. Has become a company. We've already got now, it's grown beyond what, thank you Jesus, what we started to do. It's already taken on its own place and placement. It's really good, and we're really happy about that. But I'm here because I live in Ranlow. My wife Wanda, who's not present physically, but she's with me all the time. And she had said apologize for her not being here, so I'm sorry. But we believe, because we're residents of Ranlow, that the city of Ranlow should be first. There are other cities that we think would be interested, not as interested at all in that as much as I am our own city. This is our city. It's a very good service. At least half of this idea came from our very own chief, police chief, one of the best halves. The part that would protect the town from EPA violations, and that's the part where we wash the trash cans. So the service that we would provide is, we call it curb to house, house to curb, and wash and rinse. And that's it. In late August, when our patent and all the rest of the technology is completed, we want to put the puck on the inside lid of the trash can. This will allow CJ and his team, or whoever it is in the town that's responsible for a lot of things, but our puck will measure the heat in the trash can. It'll measure the smell in the trash can. It'll measure the location of the trash can, and if it has been tilted in any way, it measures it, but most importantly, it measures if there's anything radioactive and dangerous. Our PUC will measure that, so there will be at least 5 important things that the city can know what this technology, in my research, what this technology becomes is it's helpful for the trash bin service as well, to know where to go and where not to go. The city's not big enough for that to be the biggest issue in the world, but also if there's anything dangerous. So there's a lot more details that go with what we're doing. Our proposal has funding that we've requested. The issue the last time we talked was legally, according to the attorney, I never did get a full report on what the attorney's report was. I never did get the response on that, but I think it was that we cannot go before the town members ourselves and ask the town to be a part of something that we're doing if we're going to charge money where some residents participate and some residents do not. If the town is going to be involved, then all the residents, every house, every trash can has to be managed. That was our plan from the beginning. We want to manage every trash can anyway. We want to make the town of Renlo special and unique. It's our own special thing. We be the town, the cleanest town in the county. That's it for the most part. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. It's my understanding in the past, I'm not sure if we still do it or not, but I remember at one time, our seniors would call the town hall and say, you know, I can't pull my trash in and out, and the town would still do that. And they keep a list of these residents. Do they still do that now? Okay.
I think that's what anyone, right, Jack? That needs some type of assistance like that.
Put on the handicap list, normally bed for private doctor's note, but we have a list of about 20 to 25 residents that's on that list.
And we also, and this doesn't have anything to do with that, but we also, when we have our senior adult Thanksgiving dinner, that list is catered to by taking their dinner to them.
And I think there's some washing involved as well if any resident has an issue like that. So I definitely appreciate your presentation that you thought. I personally don't think that we should involve as a partnership. Privately, you're definitely free, right? As a private entity, but the partnership, I definitely, legally, I don't think would be good.
I agree with you.
The question is, did we print this off or did you provide this? So
That one pager was provided by the commission.
this whole packet was provided on?
No, the proposal at large, along with the pocket, all that stuff, I included as a part of the agenda packet.
I make a motion to decline the proposal.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay.
Is that it?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to our new business. Okay, Charlie, we're gonna, the consideration of the artificial intelligence policy. Yeah, so that's really up my alley. I'm a software engineer, 34 years, so yeah. Let's stay about policy. I already know about it, but
Good, yeah, I'm glad. The awesome news is, we will, I think, be the first in the county to put this together. I think anybody else who got an AI policy, this is, once again, I should have a panic every time I say this, but this is another Commissioner Hill amazing idea. We picked up on some notes from City Vision when we were in Raleigh, and then also with help from Mr. Tosca, who's also amazing in reaching out to some neighboring jurisdictions. Like I think Cary, North Carolina was one of the first to put out an AI policy, and we don't want to just take it and slap our logo on it, so we kind of make sure it was tailored to us and to our specific situation. But I won't read the whole thing because I think that would be, just kind of boring for me to read it all out loud, but, obviously AI is not going anywhere. We want to make sure that, that we are managing it in-house, with intention and having human influence. So like, for example, a couple of just like some of the big things that hopefully that will connect with residents is, for example, we won't make, and we already don't do this, but it's just good to have a policy anyways, to say like, for example, any procurement decision will not be made using generative AI or anything like that. Again, we already don't do that, but it's nice to have it now. You know, there's been some other jurisdictions around that, you know, maybe a police officer uses a ChatGPT to help write a patrol report. We don't do that, but now we have it listed. And similarly, if we're having any sort of like proposal or an RFP or an RFQ where somebody submits it and there's any generative AI being used in that proposal, we require them there to be disclosed. To be said, part of this or all of this was made using generative AI like a ChatGPT. But it's important that we were very intentional about this. Mr. Tosco could also probably give a much better summary of what I put together, but having, when it comes to any sort of expenditure, any sort of procurement, any sort of contract, anything like that, no decision will ever be made by asking the computer, hey, what should I do about this? We will always have the human influence. That will always be, just like any expenditure that we have has to go pre-audited by our finance director, then signed off by me. We're still making sure that that persistent human influence stays in our governmental process. So I'm happy to go into details if you have a question about any specific spot. But thank you, Commissioner Hill, and to Mr. Tosco, and I guess in theory, Cary, North Carolina, for helping us put us all together. We should be the first. I think the county's got policy, but I think it's only a paragraph or two, but we should be one of the first in the county to have this. So it's exciting to be on the leading edge of that.
Awesome.
And this is a draft, but I guess in theory it could be adopted and the draft would be done.
I would make a motion to adopt the new policy.
Second.
All in favor? All right, there's no opposers. All right, so let's go on to the fund balance project. Charlie, you want?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, and I can make this brief, I know it's warm in here. So you saw this last time we were here. This is my essentially taking a stab at, hey, I talked with all of you individually, and we know we have all these different projects we want to have going on. We just passed the general operating budget. What if we just kind of put together like a little bit of a shopping list of what if we wanted to fund this or what if we wanted to fund that? So we got a chance to look at it in the past month. We've gotten some more realistic numbers. These are still the numbers from last time, but CJ's got some quotes. I'll just kind of quickly go through and I'll do it very fast what each one is. So the central line one at the top, that was a quote that we got. That is an exact number. Even though it's a range, it's still what they provided with us to revamp our personnel policy manual that's ancient and to introduce essentially a merit-based raise evaluation and essentially what will be raise process. Something we've been kind of talking about, but we said, let's go ahead and get it. You still need one? Yeah. Oh, okay, I'll pass it. I got one. Oh, okay. You want to pass it then? Oh, we'll let CJ do it when he gets ready. So that was exact. CJ will probably talk about swings in Garden Park and the shade. And then the last three, number 7, the mayor and I had talked about, there's a couple of different multi-use courts out there now because if we put new town hall at the corner, we want to make sure the basketball court gets still put somewhere. And there's some really interesting and cool multi-use courts out there now where there's built into this one space. It'll be like a walking track, a soccer goal, a basketball, hoop, and then a couple like pickleball courts where all is in that same space, which would be so cool. And then we kind of got to talking about, we should really.
Do you still have the picture?
I can probably pull it up when we get to the next item, I'll pull it up on the computer. And if not, if I can't find it, I'll just email it out.
Okay.
So, and then kind of talking about, maybe there's a need here, instead of us just throwing together one at a time, what's that, one project down the park, why don't we consider what this park is gonna look like for 40 years, if we're closing Park Drive down, all these things should be considered, just like we're doing with Town Hall that way, instead of us spending money here, and then, well, it would have been better if it was down there, because now we're gonna do this, kind of putting a bigger plan together to make sure it all makes sense. And then items number 5 and 6, if you remember, the Randall Experience Committee had requested a $30,000 appropriation from the board, and then the Randall Resource Network, I think, had earmarked around $8,000. So I'm going to stop talking, and CJ can provide quotes if you have specific questions about specific projects. But really, this is just yours to digest and have fun with. You could say, I want to fund this one, I really like that one, I want to fund 2, I want to fund all, and it will just be essentially fund balance appropriations this year. So
I have a question.
Yes,
Why is there such an increase in the experience? I mean, we did 50,000 last year. What is this gonna cover so much more? That's $80,000. Why so much?
I will defer to the chairman who's here, who maybe can talk about it when the committee report. Well, no, since we're gonna potentially vote on this, do you wanna maybe speak to the group? Yeah, of why the $30,000 request was made? And it's still 50 this year, because when the proposal was made in May by the experience committee, we had already gone through the proposed budget. That's why this is essentially a one-time appropriation. The next budget year, if the board decides yes or no, can be considered. So feel free to why the 30.
All right, so my name is Drew Horine. I'm the chairperson of the Rainbow Experience Committee. I live at 1616 Allegheny Drive. 2 months ago, I came before the board when our committee took over the town events. We were told the annual budget, and then we were told that there was about $1,200 left for the fiscal year.
And that was because it ended June 30th.
That was because which ended June 30th. But during that time, we actually went out and got pricing for what the things that we want to do as town events actually cost. Getting real numbers from real vendors. They may not be the final numbers, but they were consistent across the board. And prices on everything has gone up. Fuel prices have gone up. Things like fireworks, those prices have all gone up. It's costing vendors a lot more to provide those services, and they're passing those costs along to us. In addition, we don't want to run into the end of the year where there's no money left and there's still events to have. So the budget that we asked for is actually a realistic budget given the actual items that we want to do in the events. So the $50,000 was, frankly, it was not a realistic budget to accomplish everything that was on the calendar for this year.
I just think it's good for the residents and people out in the service audience knows what their money's been spent for.
Yes,
And I agree, everything has gone up.
And I do agree that it's important for us to be wise with the taxpayers' money.
I agree.
But these are based on real numbers and real data and real research that we've done on these things.
I have a question. Drew, as far as the activities and all, how do you know the residents want? How do you know how they want to be entertained? How do you, I mean, is it like a table set up where they can come and give suggestions? I mean, we could have a bunch of like, you might say, we want to have a salsa night. Or somebody come in and say, I'd rather let's line dance. I mean, I'm just curious to what's the involvement from taxpayers that are paying for this entertainment?
I understand the question, I appreciate it, and I don't know if that belongs in this discussion or my report later on.
I was in your report.
But I would confirm that what we've been doing at each of the events since our committee has taken over is we are going out interacting with the crowds at the events, we're getting feedback, we're finding out what do people like, what do they not like, what are we wasting our time on, and what is it that they would like to see at the next event. So we're polling the community, trying to find those things out. We have been finding our footing over the first couple of events, and we're actually getting there. And our upcoming events are going to be great. But we are trying to find out more of what the community actually wants. And, do we need to have the same amount of events? Do we need to have them on the same dates? So we're reviewing all of those things. The event dates this year were set in stone before our committee took over. And that's for the calendar year 2026. We're currently looking at the calendar year 2027 to set an event calendar for that. And our committee will be meeting on Tuesday about that.
So you're going to be speaking later tonight?
Yes, that was most of my report right there.
Can I say one more thing? I don't know if I want to wait. When it comes to events and things like that, in my heart, I don't know this, I believe there's a lot of talented people right in the realm. I think it'd be great if we could get people right here that play the guitar, sing, and do that, to entertain and maybe a lower cost of someone that is more recognized and more, you know what I'm saying, a name for themselves. And we get these homegrown talents that sit in their backyard doing stuff in bands like somebody I know, you know, to entertain us, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard, Robin, it's hard to find entertainers. It really is for a price. It really is, it's hard, because I did it for years, and it is. But I agree, well, advertise it. That's the only way you get the word out, is advertising.
I believe there's a lot of talent right here.
We have been advertising for other musicians, and we've got a really great one lined up for our next event, and we're talking to other local musicians. We are trying to keep it local. May not be always able to keep it local as far as people who are from Rainbow being musicians, but I actually talked to somebody last night at a venue that I play at that him and his sister have a band, and she lives here in Rainbow. So that is something that we are considering. But I can report more on that in my report, unless you just want me to go ahead and give the report since I'm already over there.
And I would like to say, Drew, on the May event, I love that group, the group you had on the May event. And I loved, and this is part of your report too. I love the way the committee jumped in, did that concession stand, Zion was in there cooking, and everybody worked together, and we're a team, not a person.
We have a fantastic committee, and but I realize I'm cutting in time on other things that are supposed to be happening.
Drew, what I just want to ask is, can you just, I would like to see just a budget for each event that you have.
I provided that to the board 2 months ago when we made the appropriation request.
Of each one, you have a total.
Yeah, I had a spreadsheet of each event lined out with line items on each item.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to provide that to you again.
Yeah.
I
would like to see that again.
I don't remember it either, I'd like to see it again. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I would also like to say that, you know, I love what you're doing because of the fact that, when we have those events, we get people out, people get to know each other. It shows that we're a lively town, that love each other. I mean, the Christmas thing that you guys did it was awesome, you know, and it just actually draws more people to this community, to be honest with you. And that's good for business. We want to show other businesses and people that we're open for business. That's one of the things that we're talking about with a group that's going to help us promote Randlow for being open for business. So, but I do appreciate what you're doing.
Would you like me to go ahead and give the last
I
two
think
items?
we'll be going out of order, so it's probably better not do that. We'll call you right back up right after this
All right.
next item.
Making sure.
Do you, we're gonna finish up the fund balance here, fund balance project here in just a moment, but we do want to show you kind of what that multi-purpose basketball court, everything together. I thought this was interesting, and I thought this would be awesome because we can still have, you know, soccer, basketball, all kinds of stuff in that area. And make it look attractive. So right out there, we got a proposal because we're going to be having the town hall getting built. We can move the basketball courts over to where the track is, and this would be where that would go at. So this is just an idea.
We haven't got a quote back from this yet.
What the track is.
Next to the community building.
We haven't got a quote back from this one yet, that's why there's no number by number seven. So that's what it is. So yeah, so that's all I have. If the board has any questions about the specific quotes, CJ can talk about it. It's whatever the board's pleasure is.
Good evening, Commissioners. So what I'm giving you is a quote for the figures that you're going to be having set up. So the first one we're going to look at is South East recreational varsity courts, which is basically what the mayor just showed you. It's a basketball court that has multiple functions built into it: pickleball, shuffleboard, etc. The first one is the first quote. I contacted at least 3 contractors. 3 of them come out, and only 1 of them gave me a quote back. So for the first quote here is for Redland Park. In my opinion, Redland Park needs the most rehab. It's the oldest park. I got the asphalt is breaking away due to trees, roots growing up out of the asphalt. The retaining wall is buckling and getting ready to just spill over into the court, and 2 of the ball goals have been destroyed and are not fixed. They're going to have to be fixed. So what I was thinking is Garden Park, since it's getting new water lines, it would make sense to me. Let's focus on rehabbing the ballpark in Garden Park. And this proposal here is a total redo of the basketball court, regrading, putting a true retaining wall in, and putting a versatile court. The quote here is the grade, or the court itself will be concrete with replaceable tiles. The tiles I found out last about 15 to 20 years. Once they go bad, you just replace the tile instead of replacing the paint that you have to replace every 5 years. And what's cool about it, you can put your own designs on it. You tell them what you want. You can have the Ranlo logo in the center, and then they put basically like for the center board that has the Ranlo logo, and then they put the different games on there. You're looking, like I said, this is just a quote. To redo that part is right out of 100 grand. There's nothing cheap in the park, sir. It's nothing cheap in anything anymore. And this is professionally done, pulled from scratch, all the way.
Have you gone to look at some of their work?
I haven't gone yet, but he wants me to go look at it, and he showed me pictures, and they're pretty nice. And these are $200,000-$300,000 courts, because they're bigger, because this area is just limited. But we are actually making it slightly bigger and wider so you can add more games to it. The biggest cost is the grading of the keel and that retaining wall that's buckling and falling in. That's one of the biggest parts. This is just for y'all. I thought Garden Park would benefit with a good upgrade in the basketball court. The last time it was upgraded was probably about 10 years ago, and that was some paint, maybe some fresh asphalt. Now that asphalt is no good. The second one is for putting moving the ball field and putting a new varsity ball field at Fulbright Park. This one's a little bigger. This one has a lot of grading to it because there's a lot of, if y'all want it at the walking track, I did it at the park where, behind the splash pad. The cost of it is $160,000, but it's bringing it up, leveling it up, and putting a bigger court and having, basically, the only thing it doesn't have is the soccer goal. Because he is saying that the soccer goal, putting a soccer field in it ain't worth the cost. Because most people don't play soccer on concrete. That's what he was saying. It's up to y'all.
What about the skate?
The skate park?
Yes.
I did not look at the skate park as an area, but that is an area if y'all want to do a complete demo on it. More money, yeah.
Is it being used?
It does get used. Surprisingly, it does get used. As everybody knows, the biggest bummer is the splash pad side of it.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's out of our hands. And that was just for basketball courts. Basketball courts, if y'all wanted numbers for what a varsity court looks like, and kind of figures. The next one is for adding swings and shade to Fulbright Park. There's 2 companies. I would have added more from the Carolina Recreation, but their design package was so big our printer couldn't handle it. It was kind of impressive. But if you turn to the blue package from the Ramblin' Park Playground by Carolina Parks and Play, this will be the swing set which both companies have quoted, look like. You will have, they call it a 6-bay. Bay 1, I have 2 infant swings. Bay 2 will have a ADA swing. And then Bay 3 and 4 will have normal swings, and then you have another set of empty baskets to put the kids in the swings. And then if you notice, we added some benches with some shade. That was the biggest, one of our biggest feedbacks is put shades in, and this is what we're looking at, adding a permanent umbrella shade. This company has quoted come in at roughly 70,000, if you found it. $69,125. My personal favorite is this one. They took the layout of the park and they added the swing set and multiple big swings with shade and shade spots around the park. Like, you have a swing that's on your front porch, they have multiple of them and shade over them for the parents to sit in. It looks really good.
Do we have pictures about it?
It wasn't print because it was too high resolution for
We could
our.
always,
Is it-
we could email out.
I can,
Or is it, something you email to project?
Give it an email.
I think I sent it to you.
I have a question. So these 2 here are for the park, correct?
Yes.
So you just do 3 quotes, 2 quotes? No, you do 3 quotes.
Well, the other company never sent one back.
We tried to get 3 on every single,
Yeah.
at least.
I talked to 4. One guy didn't seem real interested, and 3 people showed up, and 2 of them sent me back a quote.
Okay, and I have a question.
Now, I will say, these are not apples to apples. This one has a little bit more, because I sent them the layout of the park, and this guy looked at it and said, all right, this is what we'll do, and this guy took it and said, this is what would make it look good if you want shade and everything.
Did they come out or did they just see pictures?
This guy come out, and he also,
Who's that?
this one's the Carolina Recreation and Design. They're out of Denver.
Who's on 35
Huh?
Who's on 35
No, it's on the next page. Grant. So the Carolina Parks and Rec's out of 8 minutes.
Where would the swings go in relation to the multi-use court?
So what I'm thinking is, if you're looking at the splash pad, they'll go directly behind the splash pad, then the multi-use court will go behind it. That's why you got the grade you have to fill up. I think the guys that come and look at the multi-course, they actually come out and did a shot survey and said it has to come up about 6 feet, which is a lot of dirt to bring up. That's why the cost was a little more.
Oh, because we own that whole grass hill all the way down to the hospital.
And right now, it's just a vacant lot that we just cut the grass and don't get used, and it has potential.
So the basketball court, is our departments have no court.
Yeah, the garden park is the southeast recreational. So there's 2, let me
You're
back.
right, it's 2 quotes, but I'm different measurements of the course.
Right, so there's 2 projects going on. You have the swing project and you have the ball court project. I had 3 ball court companies come out. I had 2 park people come personally, and then 2 just by email. And I told them they had a deadline to get this stuff to me by yesterday. And these are the only people that responded.
Is that it, CJ? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, them are the swings, bench swings, but they will have shades over them.
So instead of that, it's more like that.
Yeah.
Does the swings have like seat belts for smaller children? I see most of the children here look like they're 8 or 10?
Yeah, so you have these,
I saw the harness,
yeah, and
but
then you
there's a
have,
lot of space in between the harness and the back.
right, and then there's also, do you remember the old school basket seats? That look, that's also in there too, so you just put them in the basket.
Okay.
These are just the different options. Y'all can change them to add or whatever.
Yeah, and decisions don't have to necessarily.
Yeah, don't have to be
tonight.
Yeah.
This is just the next step
And I think
in
you-
more information and taking it all in, and if, now, some things could be, but, you know, maybe some of these big ones I probably advise, let's keep thinking through and take this information. As long as we're moving in the right direction, this is exactly what we're.
Let's,
I definitely think we need 88 to not explain this, it's beautiful seeing kids that are watching other kids play, they can do it. Yes.
And there's some handicap, I can't hardly hear what they're saying down there. Is there handicap seats?
Yeah, the park will be 88 compliant
Okay,
to get kids in there.
good. Very good. Thank you, CJ.
Nick, baby, change it, whatever y'all want.
you said, and, I like what you said as far as your personal favorite. But yeah, we would, it would be good for you to give a total cost still. I know you just got, you're saying, to get everything in there, basketball court,
Right,
swings, all that stuff.
so what it is, the playground companies don't do basketball court.
Right.
And basketball
So
court.
you separate it.
Yeah, that's why you have to separate. So like, for instance, let's just stick with the basketball court at the main park, Fulbright Park. So if you want to do the whole project, swings, shade, and 98,000 plus 160,000, so you'll be about 200,000 plus.
And Mr. Mayor, we intentionally line item this out and broke everything up specifically. That way it gave the board some freedom to say, you know, if the board wanted to say, let's fund 2 this year, we can budget for 2 next year, or 2, it just gives enough freedom to say, I know what all the little parts and pieces cost, so we can plan long-term how we want to finance it.
Right, and
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad you broke it down like that. That's more, and you said that earlier when we talked this week, but yeah, makes sense.
I would like to, I would love to see an overhaul on our employee policy manuals and the creation of employee evaluations. I think that, we have not had a professional really to come in and look at our HR documents and evaluations. And so I would like to see that this year's budget. So I would like to make a motion to fund the overhaul on the employee policy manuals and the creation of employee evaluation.
I'll second that motion.
Item number 1 on your list.
Yeah. All in favor of that? Okay. No opposers on the, overall employee policy manuals and creation of the employee evaluation. I think that was a great move, thank you. Anything else on here you guys would like to talk about tonight, or maybe late? He's already discussed, Sweetens and Garden Park, but I think what we need to know, is more or less, what can we comfortably pull in? Right? It's not gonna stress the town.
And well, really ultimately, these are going to be one-time unassigned fund balance appropriations. So, and for those in the audience who maybe aren't in government every day, don't get that. It's essentially like saying, okay, we're going to use a little bit of our savings account just for a one-time expenditure just to pay for this project, or it's not going to be in our operating budget. We can say, oh, you know, there's 4.5 or whatever it is in million in our unassigned fund balance. Or we could say, because the fund balance that's unassigned, you are permitted statutorily to use a one-time expenditure on. We wouldn't want to put, we've had this conversation a million times, like we wouldn't want to put recurring costs, like operating costs, out of savings, just like you wouldn't pay your mortgage out of your savings account. But a one-time appropriation, you have foreign change to do with, or don't do with what you want.
I would like to make one other motion. I know we're going to go
So
resource.
400,000?
No, sir, 4.4-ish million unassigned fund balance. We have a 150% fund balance, one of the highest in the county. Okay. As a percentage of our general fund expenditures. So, we're not loaded.
All right.
For the Randall Resource Network, I know they're getting up, the Preach and Ms. Shardy and I know they want to do some health fairs and bring in some speakers and things of that nature for our residents. And so I would make a motion at least to start them off with, if not 85.
May I add a quick point too? Just, it's worth noting that that's one of the committees that, when created, had no money in the previous operating budget. So there's not, like, and this is not saying anything about the experience committee, but there was, experience committee had already had kind of like an nest egg to work with, and now we're talking about doing more. But the resource network had zero. So any appropriation would create something for them to be able to, they had zero essentially in the operating budget.
So your motion is for?
Make a motion to at least give them six grand to get started.
Is that all you think they need? I mean, they're asking for 8?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll make a motion for 8.
okay.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, no opposers. Guys, I know this sounds like a whole lot of money, but let me also say that if you don't invest to make this place look better, if you don't invest that money to make it look better, believe me, you're not going to get the stuff that you want. So you invest the money to make the town look better, you get more business in here, you make more money for the town. That includes the parks. So, is there something else on here that we could probably bring in, commissioners?
On the experience committee,
Yeah.
the 30,000. Is that gonna give us a 30-minute fireworks show instead of a 15-minute fireworks show?
The fireworks show is already booked. Mr. Hanson, I don't know if you remember the contract on that was in the town.
It's sarcastic on that.
Okay, no, their price just went up.
Yeah,
The price for everything the price for doing everything that was already done before went up. Every single item. So, and we're being asked to do more. So, I did, email the budget to Mr. Hanson, just a moment ago. It can be distributed to you again. And I do have it up on my computer if there are any questions about it.
On the carnival, the rides that we have set in.
The fall festival.
You already secured that?
We are in the process of securing that. His prices went up dramatically this year as well. Mr. Morton just got the information from them, and it's, everything is going up. Everybody's charging a lot more. We are looking at other options for some of the things that are very expensive items in the budget, to see if there's some savings that we can get. But there's an expectation of what's going to be at these events as well.
I'll make a motion, go ahead and approve 30,000 for the experience committee.
Okay, is there a second?
I would like to second, but under one condition. I give 2 cents in.
Sorry, we need to have a second. There's no discussion on a second, but then there's discussion after the second's made, just one one, so.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 30,000.
Hold on.
I'd like to make a motion that we second.
There's just a second.
I just like to make a motion, I like to second.
And now you can call for discussion.
Okay, now I can discuss.
Mayor's got to call for discussion.
Okay, yeah, before we,
I
to approve
personally,
it, let's,
I personally think that, I would like to see, one, I think there are too many events, and so I would like to see, I think we might have enough to fund through December, but revamping the schedule and some of the events, because, you know, turning it over, I don't know how you, Charlie, and y'all did it, because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of events back to back to back, and it's very hard to have some quality. It's like a lot of quantity, but the quality. And so I personally think that maybe we can table it and have them think about, okay, some of the events next year, maybe removing one or two just to give them some room to kind of revamp and rethink about, like some of, like you said, how these events are going. I've been personally assisting as a volunteer, not a commissioner, just a regular volunteer, and just kind of been looking at some prices and like Christmas floats. Never can get in touch with Christmas floats, so I, you know, told the committee you might want to just think about how you redoing the Christmas parades, because we can never get the floats. I contacted them June 23rd, and they were already sold out, and they opened their floats June 1st. And so a lot of that was very costly, that was like 20 grand, we could save to put more entertainment in the parade. So, I mean, I just think it should be more quality versus quantity. That's my 2 cents.
I agree with her.
In the past, we didn't, it's just started with the floats. Before, it was church floats, business floats, it was all that. Just in the past, we started renting the floats.
Right, but that was a blessing in that, the former town manager, we had so much construction going on around Rambo, that he would go to these people, these contracting, you know, who we contracted with, and he asked them, would you donate money for our Christmas? So a lot of those didn't, were at no cost, those were not at any cost to the town, they were all, it was money donated from contractors. So you got a $1.2 million, what's 20,000? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't mind doing that. So, but the jump back off what you're saying, I agree with everyone. This is me. I got ADHD. I'm so out the box. I so want us to be the beginning start of something new. Okay, maybe we don't pay $30,000 for fireworks. Heck, maybe 50 of us can get out there and we bring cans up and down. I guess what I'm trying to say is just doing something outside of the box, being creative, doing something nobody else has done. I mean, fireworks had to start somewhere, somebody had to start off. Maybe we can come up with something different, less expense, and be the start of something unique for Gaston County that nobody else is doing. I mean, you know, we can raise pigs down Spencer Mountain Road. Just something different, you know? Let's have a dog race, a cat race. I'm just saying, just be creative and trust and believe that we have the mindset and talent right here in Rainbow. We don't need, we can come up with something. That's why they got Drew to cut that.
But we do have to have the fire marshal's approval to do something other than put some cans out there.
I'm just suggesting.
I know.
I make a motion that town never use fireworks off itself again.
Well, I mean, you actually have light shows that can substitute
Yeah, I understand the same thing.
fireworks, so you can have nice, very nice light shows. So, I mean, we can think out of the box, so I think 30 is too much personally, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I disagree with you as far as cutting down on our activities because, we've had good turnouts. And it's people getting out of the house out this winter and meeting together, meet their friends, their families, their neighbors. And when we got together and started Hilltown Night, we summoned the towns around to make sure we didn't get on the same Friday night that they had. But I think the events are,
Well, when I say that, you have the Easter egg hunt in April, then you have Milltown Night starting in May. I personally think that could take off the schedule, because then that would give them time to do June and July. Then you have National Night Out plus a Milltown Night, which that really, they could work with National Night, then having 2 events in 1 month. That would then give them time without the August to focus on October, to focus on November, to focus on December, and put more quality in it than all of these.
but Milltown Nights and National Night Out is not the same thing, and it's.
Correct, but it's still 2 big events in the same month that they're kind of helping each other out with.
Well, the Experience Committee doesn't have anything to do with National Night Out, right?
No, that's the police department.
That's the police department, so it's really nothing to do with that committee, but Milltown Nights is, so. I don't agree, I don't know that. Drew's got his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Drew, go ahead.
It would have been great if I could have given the report
Sorry,
before
you
this
gotta do it
discussion.
again. Sorry, Drew, you gotta say it.
Drew Ryan, 1616 Allegheny Drive. I think Reagan's got my address memorized by now. Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to give that report before this discussion, actually, because it would have answered several of the questions that you're actually raising right now. Our committee is considering other options, different things for next year, but everything costs money. And that's not something we're gonna get around. We are looking at, what are the number of events that we have? Are we competing with other municipalities? Are there different things that we can do to stand out? For example, one thing possibly under consideration is instead of fireworks in 2027, having a drone show. So those are things the cost is roughly the same. Sometimes the drone shows are actually more expensive than the fireworks, but it's something that would set our town apart. And really what we're looking at are things that are going to bring visitors to Ranlow, bring business to Ranlow, and inspire community pride, and help us all to live together as one community. That's really what the point of the Experience Committee is, the point of our local events. Whether we're just standing out there, eating popcorn and playing guitar, if we can bring the community together, that is the main thing that we're trying to do, whether with any of our events.
All right, okay, so do we have enough that you guys want to fund, or is there anything else you want to talk about? So the $30,000, is that in, or?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Never before has the Experience Committee or Recreation Committee, what used to be, never did the fireworks. So that wasn't in conjunction with it, so that's different. I didn't know that that committee would be expected to do fireworks. And if it's $30,000, I think that's too much.
It was actually 12.
Pardon?
This year's fireworks are $12,000.
$12,000.
Okay, so is that something we want to look at funding, the 30,000, or some version of that?
Maybe some version.
Okay.
What, have you priced it for, it's coming? Is it too early? Next week, okay.
We will be starting much earlier on everything for next year.
And you really have had your hands tied because you came into it blind.
We're getting a little bit further ahead with each event. And so as we move further down the line, we will be able to plan further events. Nothing was planned or secured for future events at the time this committee took over this.
Okay, commissioners, do you guys want to make a vote on the 30,000? Or not?
There's a motion and a second, so you have to, yeah.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? 2 over here. All opposed? 3 opposed. All right, guys, we'll take a 5-minute break. We'll be back.
Let's give everybody another 30 seconds to get back. Okay. All right, let's give Commissioner Laws in here. All right, as far as the fund balance, we think we taken care of everything that we want to.
Yeah, but I would like to, put the experience on the agenda next month. I just want to look at their budget item.
Okay.
Next month.
That's something you could, put that on the next one.
Okay, yep.
Okay. All right. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and, we're gonna go ahead and move to, item number 11. RFQ for design of public works complex. Do you want to start it off, Commissioner Hill, or do you want Charles?
Yeah, so after, initially getting elected, talking to some of the directors, I went out to the Public Works building, and similar to the old town hall, which is really falling apart. I would really like to at least get a design for a new Public Works building. I know that we are looking into getting a grant writer. And so when we get that grant writer, they'll be able to really bring some money in. And one of the things I would like to do is make sure that the Public Works building has a nice building. So at least paying for someone to at least come out and give them a design. Because they, like, as soon as it rains inside the building, even in the bathroom, like, it's just bad. It's really fun. A beam is like shaking. It's bad. And they're doing the best they can.
Is
CJ here?
Yeah.
He's outside.
Can you run?
You guys talk about how poor the quality of the building, and I would reflect the same thing. And it's in the middle of the neighborhood, you have property down at the bottom of what consider for the new place. And just to reiterate, I know Commissioner Hill said this would just be for the design in a way, whenever the board decides that this needs to be funded or wants to be funded, whether it be a year or 100 years, being a little silly, but it's just that we have that on the shelf, basically where to go.
Okay. Would, Commissioner?
Your design for your new building.
Oh, I want to appropriate 200 million. Anything is better than what we got now.
Yeah.
If we could just do what we did with the town hall, just find a design firm that'd be willing to submit a RFP and see what it costs. That's what, because the Public Works building has been the same Public Works building since probably 75. And the only thing we've added a 2-bay garage unit last year for putting our two water trailers that hold water for the winter time. That's the only upgrades that it's really had.
Okay. And just give some more insight on what you use it for.
The Public Works, we have a bay, which is the shop where we hope we have some of our equipment and where Chris works on most of the trucks when they're broke. And then we have the office, which is our break room, which is probably about the size of the kitchen, if not smaller, where about 15 guys can come and sit in the air conditioning when it's working. And then we have one bathroom.
Okay.
And we'd be happy to have that AV.
Yeah, if you would like to come visit,
Yeah.
go to 120 Duck Street.
We'd be happy to schedule something.
So are you asking for design on the building or a new building? What are you asking for?
The design is to get to the building, like the town hall.
Could, instead of paying some design company a big astronomical amount, could we ask maybe our local people to offer a design? And then as a committee, or as a board, we could look at that design.
I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything just cause what I have is so outdated. You cannot upgrade it anymore. I remember Lowell had a design a few years ago for a Public Works building. I can ask them if they'd be willing to let us see it and see what we can do off of it.
I mean, we talk about using our local talent, so
Right.
that would be one way we could maybe ask anybody locally that's in design.
And that's,
I think that's what that RFQ.
that's what the RFQ is. You advertise to everybody. Will you be willing to submit a quote to design this? It don't have to be like Mosley out of Raleigh. It can be somebody local.
So could you put that in your newsletter that you send out in the water bill, something to say that we're looking for a design? If you're interested, I mean, it could be a kid, it could be anybody. I'm saying, we got talented kids.
And I think the reason for having the agenda item, what I will be looking for, is not necessarily like a vote, but just like instruction by the board, if there's a majority, say, let's go ahead and put an RFP or an RFQ out, just see who's interested, see what the prices would be, and then this board can discuss if they want to move forward with it that way. But we found success in having.
Yeah, I think
engineered plans.
that's fairly simple. Can we get a motion, for or against that?
I made a motion for the design.
Okay. So we got the motion, you have the second by Commissioner Long, all in favor? Okay, so, yeah, you should do that. All right, thank you. CJ.
Mayor, I asked you a question, I should ask it there.
Oh, okay.
How big of a Band-Aid would you need to fix the problem now and get you by until we get you new?
That would require me to probably get a structural engineer to come look at some great. Yeah. That's just me being honest.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
We're blessed, don't worry, I don't think it'd be super long. Okay, let's move on to, the item number 12, committee updates. All right, Commissioner Hill, do you wanna call these, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and call them. Let's, go ahead, since we already started with you, Drew, all right? Let's go ahead and finish your update.
Sure. My name is Drew Horan, I live at 1616 Allegheny Drive, chairperson of the Rainbow Experience Committee. So Walt Disney said around here, however, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. So that's what we will do. All right. Tonight I want to report on 3 specific things. And some of this may overlap some of the discussion we've already had, but I will be brief. First, the June 19th Milltown Nights that we had on Juneteenth. It was a success and a celebration this community can be proud of. After a rainy morning, the weather cleared in time and we had a beautiful evening for it. We brought together a DJ, inflatables, strong turnout of food vendors, along with one retail vendor. Crowds were strong throughout the evening, which was especially encouraging given the fact that several other municipalities in Gaston County also had Juneteenth celebrations on the same night. So I was very encouraged by the crowd that we had that night. So families filled the park, kids had plenty to do, and the evening captured exactly the kind of community experience, spirit that Juneteenth represents. I wanted to thank our town staff and public works and crew, and our vendors and the committee members and volunteers who gave their time to make that night happen. I also want to recognize Christine Meeks on our committee who served as our point of contact, particularly with the organizers of Ebony Fest, which was a separate Juneteenth celebration held in the area the same weekend and also the previous weekend here in Rainbow. So that helped for broader community engagement and support. Looking ahead, July 17th is our next Milltown night. We're really excited about this one. We have booked The Gift, who is a talented local blues musician. He's a phenomenal performer, he's going to be our live music. We will have some inflatables again. We have a car show returning, which is facilitated by one of our residents, Mr. Mark Connor. His show last year was a big hit with the community. He's put together awards and everything with that. We will need some commissioners to help judge the car show. So I'm looking for volunteers, and it'd be great if the mayor would.
Why not the whole board?
Well, the whole board can do that. We're happy, but I didn't want to speak for you guys.
But if the whole board is there, doesn't that mean it has consensus and then you can't?
That's a quorum. Yeah.
Well, not out there, as long as we don't discuss business, it's not out there, it's not out there.
Just discuss cars, but we do have at least 50 cars lined up for the car show. It's going to be a wonderful event, and it will culminate with fireworks at the end.
That's the 17th.
Yeah, that's the 17th, Friday night, July 17th. And the theme is, of course, America 250. There were a lot of people in town that are like, why didn't we have a 4th of July celebration? Well, we wanted to have one when everybody could show up, and there wasn't everybody else competing with us. So that's what we're doing. If anybody's interested in becoming a vendor, they can reach out through the town and get in contact with our committee. Let's see. As our events grow, we are working to tighten our procedures across the board, from how we plan and book to how we staff each event. One area we're focused on right now is volunteer coverage. At the June 19th event, we actually didn't have enough volunteers to man everything the way that we wanted to. And so we're working with a local organization that's helped in the past to help make sure that we have coverage for those things. For our upcoming events, let's see where we are also trying to, as we move forward, be more, I'm losing the word. Make sure that we are spending the taxpayers' money wisely and make sure that we're trying to get quotes, and as often as we can get multiple quotes, even if the items aren't above the threshold where we're required to do so. That's not always been possible due to time constraints, but as we get further and further out from our events, that's going to become more and more possible and become more of the norm. The Experience Committee does continue to gain momentum with each event, and our planning is improving, our vendor relationships are growing, and our coordination with the town staff keeps getting stronger. Tightening our procedures and building a reliable volunteer base are the next steps in that process. And then we will also begin planning for the 2027 calendar year, as well as what's been brought up earlier. Moving forward, we do have another Milltown night in August. That will be our back to school bash on the 21st. It is after the National Night Out, which the police and fire are working on. And in the fall, we have our fall festival, Senior Thanksgiving, which will be at Malo Methodist Church, and our Christmas parade, which we're all very excited about. The committee meets on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month. There was some confusion about that. It's not always a 2-week cycle, but the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. right here at the lodge. The residents are encouraged to attend and let us know what you think. We want to do what the residents want. And appreciate the board's continued support.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Are you having a meeting tomorrow?
There is a special meeting tomorrow, and our vice chair will be leading that meeting because I will be out of town. So, and it will be right, is that right here? Everybody, I'd like to recognize our vice chair, Tammy Love.
7 PM, okay.
7 PM here at the lodge.
Before you leave, look, we need to check and make sure the lodge whether folks respond. We can talk after that. Yeah. If not, we can use a community building or something like that.
Yeah. But we are having a regular meeting on Tuesday as well, so. This is just kind of to make sure that we're ahead of the next Milltown night, got everything in line, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go with the Randall Resource Network, Trevina. Stephanie? I'll start here.
Good evening, Commissioners, and I'll say forget my attire, I didn't know that I was going to be up here today. But I do want to pass some information to you all about the Resource Network Group. Georgina Stephanie, she had to leave, so she wasn't able to present the information. But I just want to give a few updates of what has been happening with the Resource Network Group. We were able to get connected with the summer feeding program, and that takes place Monday through Thursday from 12:15 to 1 o'clock down by the park area. A band comes out there and they bring food for anyone under the age of 18. It's available to anybody in the community. This is something that is really beneficial because the individuals in the community, they were able to get lunch and things of that nature while at school, but a lot of children, of course, in the community don't have access to that during the summer months. Participation has been low, so what we would like to do is really get the word out through social media. Also, we've given out information at Milltown Nights meetings also. One thing and one caveat to the meals is the people have to stay on site to eat. So I did get a call from them indicating that when they get the meals, they can't just take them and get in the car and go. They have to stay there at least 5 minutes, eat on site, and then they can leave. So that's been something that they reminded us of.
What was that time again? I'm sorry.
It's 12:15 to 1 o'clock, and it's Monday through Thursday, right out by the park area splash pad. A band is out there, and if there is anyone under the age of 18, they can get a free meal. So that's readily available. So the other thing that we have done is we've tried to meet people where they are by coming to our Milltown Nights meetings. We set up a table there, and we gave out information about the summer feeding program. We also provided information about 211 rental assistance, utility assistance, housing, transportation, and the food banks. And the United Way Gaston supplied brochures for this event. And also the Gaston County Arts Council provided some information. And also Gaston County Adult and Aging Services had brochures there to provide information about adult and aging services and the resources available there. Our next meeting is scheduled on Wednesday, July the 15th at 6:30. It'll be here at the Randall Lodge, and we meet every third Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Also, some of our next meeting focuses senior resources. We would like to bring resources to our seniors by having events take place during the day on a monthly basis here, where you have resource providers come in. I know and work with seniors, and if you in anything with bingo, they will come. So I will say, if you bring in resources of any sort and then end with bingo, you will get a crowd. So that's what we would like to connect the community with, is to start having these meetings. So we'll have agencies that we reach out to so that we can start these monthly resources. Also, we met with the Nigerian Physicians Group, and they would like to have a health fair here in 2027, where they're able to provide free services by physicians in the community. They came out, they can do A1C checks for free, they'll do cholesterol checks, they'll have mental health providers and things of that nature, and they will connect to resources in the community. So we've had meetings with them to discuss that, and they want sponsors in the community so that they can do that. And it will be October, we're looking at October 2027 for that event. And also, this is our proposed agenda. to discuss at our upcoming meeting, the provider health fair, the senior resources, and also have any open discussions and suggestions about events that need to take place. Any questions?
You're right. Bingo brings them out.
I think at maybe a certain age, it just kicks in, there's a gene in everybody's body. That makes you love it. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's go with Randall Public Safety Partnership, Darrell Hayes. Okay. Anybody stepping in for Darrell? Not, we'll do it the next time. Okay, so let's move on to item number 13. Consideration of budget amendment 2627.1. Charles?
Yes, sir. I'll move fast through the rest of this. I know it's 8:45. This is just the moving of the internal already approved expenditure by the board to pay off the body cameras. So this would just be the budget amendment to approve that line item.
All right,
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Okay, all in favor? All right, it's approved. Okay, let's go with the town manager's report. Let's see here.
14.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped 14. So let's go with the presentation of the monthly financial, and then we have 15 as well.
So in front of you is, just like always, this is our financial report. On the second page, you will see this is the end of our fiscal year. We did not run a deficit in any of our departments or accounts because our finance director is the best in the state. Happy to answer any questions you may have. That's just for information purposes. That's not to
Yeah, I think we seen this. Okay. Any questions on the board on this? Financial? Okay. If there's no questions, let's move on to 15 that was added. So let me go back to that. That was second, pull up this. I was just looking at it.
So just with, I can just give you some insight, just
Yeah,
making
go ahead.
sure that, when we're asking, our attorney or any of our, staff to do extensive research on something that, we all collectively agree to that.
Right, so you want to, well, let me just go ahead and read off what it says here. So request by mayor and board members, all right? So the mayor and board members shall contact the town managers for any request of staff to research, review, evaluate, or study any item or issue, or for additional information, briefing, or analysis which is not readily available. The town manager will refer these requests to the board for approval if they are expected to take more than 4 hours of staff time. So for the purposes of this rule, staff includes the town attorney. Okay, so anything that we request of the town manager, or any staff, including the town attorney, if this request, this research, anything, any kind of study, any kind of issue, if it takes more than 4 hours, then the town manager can refer it to the board for approval. So is this a rule that we're trying to vote on and implement?
Yes.
It's a revision to your currently adopted rules and procedure, so you'll be adding that rule to your rules and procedure. So
Okay, I don't see any issue with that, but the board, what do you say on this?
Make a motion to do the changes.
Okay?
I second.
A second, all in favor? Okay, no opposers? All right. Okay, so we can go ahead and move on to, item, sorry. Let's go ahead and move on to the old business section. Let's go ahead and move on to item, I guess we moved it down, but let's hear the town manager's report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna happily pass it over to our amazing department heads and project managers. We will start, I know you had asked, before this meeting started, to have an update on some of our projects, and then talking to some of our other council members, I've heard some input from residents that I'm really excited to be able to clear up. So Matt Eccles from the Wooten Company, who's also fantastic, is gonna walk through some slides, and I may interrupt at one point just to provide a little bit of context, but
Sure.
have at it.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor. Good evening.
Thank you for singing.
I know it's late, I'll try to be quick. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, thank you for singing.
Oh, yeah, happy to be here. My wife had to bathe the kids and do all that. So Charlie asked me to update you guys on the South Randall water line replacements and the sidewalk projects that we have going on. The South Randall water line replacements, you may notice that those are under construction currently. They started in June. They're about 10% complete. That's the east side of Spencer Mountain Road is where they're starting. Phase 2, the west side is the HUD-funded side, which is a month or two behind schedule due to environmental review.
Hey, Matt, can I interrupt you right there?
Sure.
Just very quickly, this is information you didn't know. So I heard from some residents today, I just want to make sure it's crystal clear about this whole thing, right? So the South Randall Waterline project to us is this.
Yes.
It's one big project. It's the east side of Spencer Mountain Road, it's Redland Booker, Neely Branch, it's the west side, it's all of that. We are doing all of that project. The thing is, we had to start somewhere, and the west side being funded by HUD money and the east side being funded by ARPA funds, the ARPA funds run out at the end of the calendar year, so it made more sense for us to start there. As excited as we are to get to Redland Booker, Neely Branch, we need to start there because if we could start on the other side, we would have tossed $1.2 million out into the wind and it would have been useless. So it's all one project for us. We're so excited. We're doing the east side first. We're absolutely going to Redland Booker, Neely. It's still happening, Branch, all of that. It's just going to be a month or two behind the one that we had to make sure we expended those funds so we didn't waste them.
Yeah,
That's
we
just
actually designed it, when we started, it was one project.
Yeah.
With one set of plans for both sides.
Yeah.
It was, yeah,
But that's all.
that extra HUD funding that came in shifted the schedule on that side.
Go back to the diagram.
Yeah.
Just one for a second.
And you probably know, for those who maybe not come to all of these meetings, the board had to vote a couple months ago to reduce the scope of the east side, the blue lines, because the quotes came back in really, really higher than we thought we were expecting to happen. Well, then we happened to be awesome, and we talked to Congressman Tim Moore, and we are one of the projects selected in the congressional CPF funding appropriations for the congressman's hoping to get us, if the feds can get a budget passed, we'll get $1.8 million in the appropriation cycle this year from DC to fund the rest of that, and you guys had to cut out of that project, so that's a huge win for us.
Great job, Charlie.
Thank you.
Was there a question on that, Matt?
No, I don't have a question, but I do, I would like to know your ETA on this project, on the waterline project.
Yeah, and at the end of the slides, I've got a schedule with the water lines and the satellite projects. So the sidewalk projects, there's sort of three parts to that one. The south and east side of Spencer Mountain Road has existing sidewalks for most of the way between Long and the Rambo Lodge. So we are replacing some older broken sections on that side. And then part two on the north or west side of Spencer Mountain Road from East Long to Burmill, we'll be putting in new sidewalks with a couple of crosswalks and the north and west sidewalk ends at Burmill and crosses over to the south where the existing sidewalk ends. So then the new sidewalk is now on the southeast side. And I've got a map here that.
And that's all grant funded as well, that's not.
That's correct. So that's the water line map there. Yeah, so this is I know it's hard to see, I've got two or three other smaller scale ones, but just to see the full scope of it. The bottom left there, the end of that red line, that's Long Avenue. The red lines are where we're putting new sidewalk in. The yellow are existing. I didn't point out all the little dots where we're replacing.
I see you got a crossway up there, at the top. You your red line kind of crosses over.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing there?
That'll be a crosswalk. The sidewalk, there's no feasible way to continue it up that side without a pretty large property take. So we decided to put a crosswalk there and continue new sidewalk up the east side, which isn't a huge deal anyway if the ultimate goal is walking to the lodge or to the thread trail. And there'll be another crosswalk. We're hoping that DOT approves another crosswalk at Town Hall, a little bit past the Randall Ave intersection. But they don't really like mid-block crossings, so we'll have to do some work to justify it. That's it. That's the middle section there. So we get to the school. The school has an existing sidewalk, and then we pick it up on the other side with new sidewalk to the town hall site, and that's where the red line stops there. The town hall project that Mosley is working on will include, their site plan includes sidewalk across there. So this sidewalk, it's to be determined if we'll be able to make it continuous, but it may be closed anyway during the town hall renovation. So if you go to the next slide, we'll pick up the new sidewalk.
Exactly.
Oops.
Yeah, we'll pull it back next.
I have a question during this one. Where you're talking about the, also just the whole example, 2321 Sunset Drive, where the crosswalk is, are you guys planning to have traffic calming?
Sorry, you're gonna have to state your name and address.
Again?
Right in the middle of his presentation?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think she stopped talking and let him finish the presentation.
I think it's pertinent, it's just a question, right? Go ahead, can you go ahead and state your name and address, keep going.
Just the whole example, 2321 Sunset Drive. So just the question was with the crosswalk there, since that is on the main road and busy, if there are going to be efforts of traffic calming to make sure that the crosswalks are safe, because I know that's a big, or raised.
Those will be all very defined by DOT, what's required. They have very thorough standards, and it'll be based on the traffic counts. Yeah, if they even allow it to be there, but I imagine our proposal would be the big flashing lights and the very high visibility crosswalk. It's not a great place to cross, but people are going to be crossing it.
Is this where we were at?
Yeah, so there's the school, there's the town hall side in the bottom left. Then we keep going up to, right there at Virgo is where the second crosswalk is. And the crosswalk at town hall hasn't been finalized yet. So that's why we don't show it on there.
And we're just making sure that we're not gonna go put sidewalk all across town hall like originally designed, and then all of a sudden we gotta put a construction entrance in for a building, we tear up all the sidewalk, we waste some money, so we're working together to make sure those sidewalks are communicated, so we're not wasting money, even if it's grant money.
And then it's where the solid line ends, that's where our current project ends. And then we've spoken about an additional extension of sidewalk up to the thread trail, and that's what that will be. I think it's about 1,700 additional feet.
And we did include that in the CPF request with DC, but that one didn't get selected.
Yeah. Maybe the next year.
As always, next year.
Yeah, if you go to the next slide, it's just the schedule at a glance. So the top one is the Rambo, South Rambo, that's under construction, has been since June, expected to finish by spring next year. The rest of the South Rambo, the HUS funded portion, finished by early summer. And then there's the lines, we expect DOT approval, and the little bit of design we have to do with the crosswalk to get us to bidding and construction by early fall. And, yeah, just the Carolina Thread Trail, the design hasn't been approved for that yet, but if it were to be, that's something what the schedule would be right there for and that's all I have. Unless you have any questions.
Okay, so you got sidewalk construction, bidding and construction, so you're really talking about.
Yeah, bidding is a 30 days.
Yeah. All right, so you really, as far as us getting all the sidewalks in and, everything done, you're really talking about all this next year for everything. Okay.
Yeah, including the Thread Trail, correct.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. That's great. Visuals will help a lot. We'll probably know what's on this record.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
All right, let me jump back in. I know it's late. All right, so we got that knocked out. Cap, you want to go ahead next? Cap down.
Hey, Mayor, Commissioners, citizens, Randall Police Department had 872 events for the month of June, including 8 arrests, 95 citations were issued. You can see on the paper that the flock camera system registered 120,651 vehicles passing through Randall with a total of 41 hits. Wanted to mention that this is the first time in the first year of it, and we are trying to make it an annual event. The Randall Police Department started an ice cream patrol this year. So on June 15th, we've got a private sponsor, an ice cream truck. We manned the ice cream truck. Followed by some officers, and we went around to the neighborhoods and passed out free ice cream for the children.
That's great. Okay, I missed
Questions?
Thanks, Cap. Appreciate you.
Can I say something for assistant?
Of course, yeah.
I was blessed to be able to be in the Gaston County Parade this past Saturday in Dallas. I had the opportunity to spend time and be driven around by Police Officer Hunter.
Yes.
Hunter is a fine young man. I couldn't have been more prouder to ride with him. Conversation was fantastic, smart young man. You are the best, and I thank you. I feel safe. When I go to bed at night, I feel safe in my town. I do. I love when people tell me that particular Rambo is in the ticket. I love to hear it because that says that you all are on the job. You know what I'm saying? And people take this town seriously when they come through here. Oh, you can't mess around a Rambo. They'll get you a Rambo. That is a compliment to me, to the town of Rambo. So I thank you for all that you all do. I do. Okay.
Thanks, Cap.
Good to Hunter.
Chief or Mr. Lingenfeld, or CJ, anybody? Well, I know you guys are probably speaking. CJ, okay?
Real quick, how y'all like Spencer Mountain Road?
Great.
Bad news. I'm gonna be putting a hole in it because there's a water leak on it. That was my fear that it was happening. We have a water leak in front of Will's Hot Dog. The vibration when they roll broke the old water line. I knew it was gonna happen, but We have a new road, but I'm gonna be putting a hole in it. I just wanted to give you the bad news.
Why did you fix it before?
Because it wasn't broke.
But you didn't go ahead.
I wish I could.
So after you do that, are you gonna come back?
No, we'll fix it. We'll put it back. That'll be our responsibility to fix it. But, besides that, I, myself and Matt Eccles had a meeting with, Two Rivers, City of Gastonia. We sat down to discuss, a contract with, entering in with them to provide the secondary interconnect over off of Monterey Park. That went very well, and I also had the privilege of talking to their assistant utilities director and their assistant city manager over the utilities, which is, he's over all. And they actually are the representatives that sit on the Catawba Water Commission that determines the drought restriction. And they were very, they gave me a lot of information. The committee meets every 2 weeks to discuss what's going to happen. And they said the only thing they're trying to do is not to go into a stage 3 restriction. So stage 2 is, they said it's going to be a long time before we can get out of it. So the splashback will remain closed, unfortunately. And that's all I got for public works.
Thank you, CJ.
Yep.
Chief. And then Dave, you'll finish us off.
Mayor, Commissioners, Town Manager, Sister Randall. Randall Fire Department responded to 57 calls. 22 of them was EMS calls, 13 fire alarms, 5 MVCs, 4 service calls, 1 brush fire, 1 structure fire, 6 good intent calls, and 1 assistant PD. That's my report. Any questions for me?
Thank y'all. Thank you, Chief. Mr. Lincoln. Everybody, I'd like to introduce you to our new code enforcement officer, Mr. David Lincolnfeld, who is so eager and excited to come speak to you tonight and talk about his start with us. We're very fortunate to have Mr. Lincolnfeld. Go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Mayor, Commissioners, I appreciate the time. I'm gonna try to make it brief. I know it's getting late. Just a little bit about me. My name is David Lincolnfeld. I have, it's just a funny side, because I walked in the door here, I thought, last time I was in here was in 1980 when I got married. Ain't go back here since. Not that. Not her. So anyway, I started to bring back memories, but then again, I don't remember much. So, just a little bit about me. I'm retired from Gastonia City Police, so I was there 48 years, well, 49 counts it comes to. And I've also done code enforcement for another town in the county for the last almost, 6.5 years. I'm very familiar with the ordinances. The way I look at ordinances is, the town, we're not looking to tell you to change your lifestyle. We're not looking to tell you we want your money. We just want you to keep your place clean. We just want to clean it up. And you'll be surprised, it's a shame that you got to have people cut the grass this high. They won't do it. And laws, more, like there. I was here in the 80s. I spent 25 years at Randall Fire and Rescue. And, I look over this, I get out here and drive around, look for stuff, see stuff. Oh my God, I got lost over here. It was like a maze. How do you get out of this development? Everywhere you turn, it's a federal court. And I'm thinking, this wasn't here years ago. So anyway, Randall's come a long way. I'm proud to say I'm back home. And the mayor said something a few minutes ago that really stood out. Had something to do with money. If you want something, you have to invest. Okay, I look at code enforcement as an investment. Because I've had people tell me, that's why I'm moving around. It's small, it's quiet. But you don't want to have to move and then your neighbors don't want to take the trash to the road or cut the grass or whatever. So we're going to work on that, see what we can do. There's some things that we need to, of course, look at. Jim says about the vehicles, junk vehicles. we're gonna take care of that. Because the ordinance is pretty clear. You know, what's considered a junk vehicle? If you can't put a key and start it up, it's considered a junk vehicle. If it's been wrecked, it's a junk vehicle. If it don't have a current display tag, it's a junk vehicle. So the ordinances are clear on things like that. There are some things that you'll look at, or I have to look at and determine, well, you might say it's this, but I say it's this. Who's right, you know? So anyway, we're here, I'm here to work with anybody and everybody. I think, had several conversations with town manager. You know, you got a lot of grass, a lot of vehicles. Some of the stuff can get dicey. You know, one thing I've learned, policing and this, which one's worse than that? Policing or this? Let me tell you, this is probably close to worse than policing. Because when you're policing, they're only gonna talk to you a certain way. I've already had a letter here saying, hey, look, you cease and desist, you ain't got no business on my property. Yeah, we do. So, sometimes I think this is probably worse than it. But either way, I encourage the commissioners to come right with me. You know, if you got an hour, 2 hours, whatever, come right with me. See what's going on. Maybe not necessarily in your part of town, but other parts of town, just don't get too long time, or you don't get too quiet. I'm a town hall. Call me. I will tell you my cell phone number, and then your name, we're sure what it is. But anyway, you call town hall, leave your number.
What do you work hours?
My 8-5.
Monday through Friday?
No. I only can work a limited amount of time because I'm retiring from another municipality.
So what do you?
So I work 2 hours, two days a week, I'm sorry.
2 days a week?
Starting at 5,
What days?
Monday, Tuesday.
Mondays and Tuesdays?
Monday, Tuesday. If something comes up, y'all can't do anything on Monday or Tuesday, I just call me, hey, look, I just live in Dallas, I can come up and meet with you. We can go for a ride, we can go do whatever. But I'm here, I want you to let me know what's going on. Because it gives me, I got plenty to do right now, but I hope there'll come a point in time when I don't have a whole lot going on. So I rely on people to call me, contact me, and let me know what's going on. Now, one thing also too, I've run into when I was code enforcement in another town, is that everything has a time frame. If I tell you you gotta do this, I'll give you 10 days to get it done. If you don't get it done within 10 days, I have to assume, and we don't want that to mean, but that you don't have the intentions of taking care of it. Anybody, if you can get anything done within 10 days, if you want to. But, and then, you know, we've got some contracts we're looking at as far as, it's nothing that's going, contracts are, if I have to go out here and abate this property, then I get a contractor, comes in, he goes, he cuts it, he cleans it up or whatever needs to be done, and then the town pays him, and then we turn and send an invoice to that person, because now they have to pay it. Now, if they don't pay it, then we put liens on properties. Because, you know, we want to get, the town wants to get their money back. But that's something that we're going to work on. And the reason, some people say, why don't you get the town to cut the grass? The thing of it is, when you get the town involved, the town workers come out here and do things. For example, we had to board up a house, been abandoned for years. So we boarded the house up, and the guy used a hammer and nail, and you know, all of a sudden this vase is sitting on a shelf inside the house falls off, and now all of a sudden it's worth $10,000. Now, y'all got to pay for it. The town doesn't. Y'all don't want to board it up. Y'all don't want to tore it off the wall. So we have contractors. I want to get contractors where they have to have a certain amount of liability insurance, and that's to where if anything happens, they can get sued, not the town. So it kind of helps us out in the long run. And plus, I'm sure CJD, they got a whole lot of time to stop and go cut people's grass, because they don't want to do it. But anyway, I'm here to help. I look at it this way, I always want to put myself in other people's position and saying, would I want to live beside this? Would you want to live beside this?
Yes.
And if some people say, no, that ain't one. It shouldn't have to live like that. So we're going to try to take care of it. See anything I can do. Feel free to get a call, call me.
Well, welcome. Welcome, David.
See what we do.
Thank you.
Nobody gets your number,
It's 980-925,
980.
925,
Okay.
2640.
2640? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have some business cards from sometime.
We already got them ordered.
Yeah,
You get your shirts ordered, it's so fresh,
Hey,
we're
we're
right
right
there.
there, waiting on you to come in.
Mr. Mayor, I think that's all for, town manager, I didn't miss anybody. Apart from that,
Okay, so, my comments, is just, we are moving forward, we are doing well, we are going to plan, so, just an overall picture, of what we have in mind. As you can see, we're trying to beautify the town so that we can, attract more business. And that's the plan here. That's my total plan. And so, we're getting the roads, we are actually, going to be actually looking at, making some decisions later on, about the water plant. That'll come up in future, commissioner meetings, but all that is about is bringing more money to the town, so that we could, fund, projects and, pay salaries, right? That, the workers that work here, they need to, to support their families, and also want to make sure that we want to keep them, right? So, you're gonna have to have a competitive salary in that manner. So, I'm super excited, that we're getting ready to break ground on this, new town hall at the, end of the year, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it starts at the end of the year. So, I'm super excited about that, and the fact that we've already talked to, Congressman Moore, and, it looks like we're probably gonna get some funding, on that. So I'm super excited about that, but we're not gonna have to pay for that whole building. So that's the hope, of course, and I think it's gonna happen. I had a chance to walk around with Congressman Moore, and he seemed to be very, sympathetic, really, almost. And I really want to put a sympathetic face on my face, because maybe I don't look as sympathetic, but we brought him around and just showed him what was going on, and he seemed to be very interested in funding that building next year. So we look forward to getting that. And I think really that's it. I just like the attitude. I love the attitude with all the employees and everything that you guys are doing. So keep it up. Nice to meet you, David. But everything is going great. I'm gonna pass it on to the board members. We said we're gonna start with this end first this time. Commissioner Hill.
Nothing for me.
No, we're gonna make 14 go last.
Okay, I got one thing. This week, a retiree from town Ranelagh passed away, Larry Black. Got a stage 4 cancer, passed away. So, we'll keep him in your prayers. I'll let the flower and we'll find their arrangements. That's all I have.
I would just like to say, it's a great day to be a Ranmo. I thank you all citizens for coming to our meetings. I remember when people didn't come to our meetings, and to keep staying this long, we're gonna have to have some snacks and refreshments up there. But I thank you all for coming, for getting involved. I thank you for getting involved. And I hope you encourage your neighbors and friends to get involved. Ranmo is a great little town. It's just amazing, and I thank you all for coming out. Thank my police, fire, code enforcement, former commissioners. Thank you for your 25 years of service along with Pam's 10. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.